Welcome to solverfy.
Chapter 1, Section 6, Problem 18. Question: how many gallons of gasoline are used in the United States in one day? So what we want to find out is how many gallons of gasoline are used in the US, so per US in one day. Okay, so we have some quantity here, another quantity of people, and a quantity of time. And so we'll get the rest of the information and see what we can make of it. So this is what we want to find out. Okay, so we are going to assume that there are two cars for every three persons, for every three people. Okay, and when for the quantities for the car, there's 10,000 miles. They're driven 10,000 miles per 1 year. And then the average car gets about 20 miles to the gallon. Okay, so right away, at least for the quantities for the car, we can see that we can actually, using these two quantities, get how many gallons are wasted per year. And so that'll at least get us close to this quantity of gallons per time length. So in order to get them to match, we need the mile here on the bottom. So we have 20 miles. We want the miles on the bottom. So we have 1 gallon for 20 miles. Times this quantity will have the miles up to cancel it. 10,000 miles per year. And so these quantities give us, so we could cancel out miles. It gives us 10,000 divided by 20, which is 500 gallons used per year. One thing to recognize is this is how many gallons are used per year per car. So when we use this quantity, we divide it by car. And so now that we have how many gallons per year are used per car, we use this quantity here to find out how many gallons per year are used per person. And so in order to solve that one, we have gallons per year per car. And so we want to get rid of car. So in this case, we flip this and we keep it the same because we want the quantity to disappear for cars. Divided by 3 people. And so we could get rid of these units. And now that will give us 500 times 2 is 1,000. gallons per year per people. And we can throw both those units down together if it won't confuse you too much. So notice how these are grouped together. And when you divide this whole quantity by that, this could also get dropped down. So this might be a little weird of a unit, but we have years per people. Okay, so this is starting to resemble now all the units that we have right here. The only thing that's a little bit off is, you know, year doesn't match up with dates, but we have the time quantity, gallons with gallons, and the United States with people. So what we have to recognize from here is in the United States, there's a certain amount of people. And so we're going to approximate that there are about 300 million people in the United States. For 1 US. And in scientific notation, we can actually write this as 3 times 10 to the 8. Okay. So let's transfer this unit over to the next page. So we have 1,000 divided by 3 gallons per year per people. And so what we want to do is now exchange people for US. And so we said that there's about 300 million people in the United States. And so we can see that this 3 will cancel out with this 3. And we're adding 3 zeros onto here, so we're left with 1 times 10 to the 11. Peoples cancel out. Gallons per year in the United States. Awesome. We're basically done, but one thing that we needed was how many gasolines are used per day. And so the next thing we realize is, well, how many days are there in a year? So for every year, we put quantity of year on top to get rid of this one. There are 365 days. If you want to be more, attempt to be more precise, you could do 365.25 for the leap year. But in the end, based on our significant figure, which was just 1, we're going to have to end up truncating it. And so the value that you get is about 2.739 times 10 to the 8 gallons per US in a day. But as mentioned before, based on our significant figures, we only had 1. So we just use this quantity and round up. So it's just 3 times 10 to the 8. Gallons are used in the United States per day. This is just a rough estimate problem. So this could be probably within a few orders of magnitude of what it actually looks like. But this will give us a good idea of how we can estimate large scale problems. And it took come and the big assumption we had to make was how many people were there in the United States. We could probably get a more accurate number by looking up Wikipedia, but the purpose isn't to look up all of this data, is to try to pull some of it off with relatively good accuracy.